and it ain't doing my countdown. We going live. We going live. See
We
y'all
on
next
live
time.
now.
All right. Bye.
Hello, everybody.
What is going on? What it do? Welcome to and that was exactly 20 minutes. Okay. We gonna get some more views on our live. Make sure, hey guys, we just did kind of like a pre-show live over on TikTok. Just kind of give it a rundown of what we're gonna be talking about and discussing today over here on this podcast called The Size Up. Welcome. I am your host, Skia's Faith, and I got my girl Wendy with me today. We got some things to talk about. Last week I was not feeling too hot. Wasn't feeling well at all, actually. So we did not do the live, and I don't think we did. We didn't do the Monday night live either.
No, we did a Monday. We didn't do Monday. We did Sunday, but we didn't do Monday. We did a brief Sunday.
Okay, it was brief. Okay, so what I want to kind of I want to say definitely welcome back to The Size Up. I'm still dealing with some health issues, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. It's not 100% for me, but I just say definitely keep me in the prayers. Those of you who are praying people. I still have one more health situation that I have to take care of. And I don't know how long I'm going to be down or what that process is going to look like for me. So I definitely pray that we can get somewhere. What we're going to do is start off with our shine. And this segment, I love a shine segment. And the reason why is because it gives people their flowers while they are here. And that's what we're all about here over at The Size Up. We definitely want to make sure that we are giving people their flowers, especially a part of our platform. We definitely want to do that. So the first person that we're going to give shine to is Angel Gregorio. Angel is a Black entrepreneur in the Washington, D.C. area. She purchased a strip mall. And in that strip mall, it's woman owned, but it's black owned women businesses that are featured in that strip mall. And what happened was she wanted to provide this I guess I like to say mecca of Black businesses. So when she was enjoying, the fruits of her labor, she had a 7-figure business, but she was also it looks like it had grown so where she had employees and she was blessing, and then this year 5, she decided that she was going to purchase this strip mall, and she did. So she has her spices that she sells, and she sold these spices without a culinary background. So sometimes the ancestors guides us with the spices, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm interested in going to the strip mall. I'm definitely interested in going to her strip mall. If I'm in the DMV area, I'm gonna find out exactly where it is, because they did have a soft launch on January the 13th. So I want to make sure they had a ribbon cutting ceremony and everything. So I definitely want to make sure that she continues her journey, and don't let that just be on the strip mall. You guys, sis, open up more so that more Black businesses can experience that success, to be able to have the opportunity to be put on the platform. She's been successful with her business, and so now not only is she able to be successful with her business, but she's now able to help others get to where they need to be and kind of show them the ropes. So she bought this $1 million property, and she got it. Black women owned businesses have a space in that area. So super excited about that. And I'm gonna keep following her because her business is doing well, and I'm gonna find out what the name of the spice business, see if I can get some spices from her. We definitely like to support black owned businesses here over at the Size Up. So I am excited. So congratulations, Angel. Also, the 1619 Project. If you guys aren't familiar with the book that was written by Nicole Hannah Jones, the 1619 Project will have a docu-series on Hulu that is executive produced by Oprah, as well as Nicole Hannah Jones, and it's discussing racism, or let me back up, slavery and the effects that it has had on our community over time. And it's gonna really break it down, and it's an educational journey as to how we got here. You're right. So how it is we got to the 16 to the point that we are as a community, to where we are at the bottom of the totem pole and everybody else seems to be pushing above us, and those direct effects that we had. So it's going to take you through that journey. So it's a 6-part docu-series that will be premiering on January the 26th on Hulu. So make sure you guys tune in. We are going to talk about a little later on how they are trying to erase Black history out of the school system, not just in Florida, but we've had cases where they've tried to remove critical race theory, which critical race theory is another term for Black history, because they want to erase that part of history. And of course, we're not trying to make people feel guilty for what their ancestors or people in the past did, although you do have some people now. I'm gonna find a story because it's an actor, I think it's Benedict Cumberbatch, who I think is probably gonna have to pay for his family or ancestors owning slaves back in the day, in the Caribbean. I'm gonna look into that story and I might share that next week. But to make sure that you know what that history is. And so we're gonna talk about that a little later, because we're gonna talk about Ron DeSantis and what the Republicans are trying to do to get out of teaching our history. So make sure y'all check out 1619 Project over on Hulu. Now we got a little reality. And it's no escape from it, but we got a reality. And I'm gonna start this off, and not Wendy. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I can hear you.
Okay. Andy Cohen. Andy got grilled. And when I say he got grilled, I mean he got grilled. Andy was being interviewed, and I want to say this man's from the New York Times. Let me pull up this article real quick. He got grilled for a number of things. Chris Wallace was the reporter. He's a very seasoned reporter. Doesn't do the fluff that somebody like we would, like us, would do as a blogger. But he is a real life reporter. And he basically took Andy to task over a number of things on the Housewives shows, but the one thing important that stood out was that he reminded Andy that he did say that he wished that Jen Shah did not get any time for the crimes that she committed against the people with the fraud case. Okay. He was like, no, I said that when I thought that he wouldn't get whatever. She wouldn't go to jail, or before she pled guilty, and that was not the case because she pled guilty in July. He said this. Yeah. And so he kind of took him to task.
Actually, Rita, hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm on a.
So it's really crazy that he got called out, and I would like for more reporters to call Andy Cohen out. By all means, more reporters definitely delve in and call these people out, because especially Andy, because Andy has been pretty hypocritical with these housewives shows, and certain housewives get away with certain things that others don't necessarily get away with. Some are called to the carpet and to task. They've done things I noticed with the Black Housewives, with fights and that sort of thing. They are reprimanded or held to a higher standard, whereas the White Housewives are not. And even now, we're looking at a colorism situation over at the Real Housewives of Potomac, where Wendy had a drink thrown in her face and nothing really was done. There was no repercussions for Mia, and Mia still is happily a housewife. As far as we know, there are no talks of Mia being kicked off the show, and none of that. So those are just kind of some of the things that I just want to put out there. Um, and those are things that I feel like he should get called to the carpet, along with the housewives that are participating in it and saying that it is okay. And I will always go back to say that Nene Leakes did not lie about the things that were going on over at Bravo. She didn't lie. Where was the lie? Because she didn't lie. My hope is that he can change some of those behaviors and the culture over there at Bravo. But I think it's going to take something drastic to happen before the culture ever changes over at Bravo. Just my thought. What do you think?
Girl, I'm sorry. I've been trying to finish up cooking. I got a little bit of what you said.
I was saying about the culture over at Bravo and how it definitely needs to change.
It does. It needs to change. When it comes to the reunion shows of Potomac and even sometimes Atlanta, I don't think Andy Cohen should host it. I think we should have another person to host it.
Oh, I definitely think we need somebody else to host the show. I've been saying that for years. I don't think that Andy I don't believe Andy takes I don't think he that's what I was saying earlier. He holds certain housewives to a certain standard, and then other housewives are not held to that same standard. You know, Monique was crucified on the cross, whereas who pushed Andy? Was that Judy Chat?
Teresa.
I mean, just things like that. I don't understand. You got assaulted by somebody, but they still have a seat on the couch and they still have a seat at the table when it comes to the housewife show. So just my thought process, they need to change the culture. And like I said again, Nene didn't lie. I don't believe she lied. Jen Shaw, speaking of, says that she will not be doing any interviews with Bravo because she feels like they are going to paint her in a negative light. I say, Jen, you did that on your own with the dealings that you had. He wanted definitely to have that, she wasn't at the reunion. She made it seem like, she disinvited herself or she decided not to come. Whereas Andy was like, yeah, no, sis wasn't invited. And so with that being said, or with that theory in mind, I still don't think that Jen is taking responsibility. Do the interview because I don't think you're gonna be a housewife again. You're gonna be in jail for 6.5 years, and then you're going into therapy or mental facility after that. So you're gonna be gone for quite some time. So I would do the interview. Make all the coins you can. You can't. She can't. I do know that she's not gonna be able to profit. Like if they do any Lifetime movies or books or anything like that, she won't be able to profit from anything along those lines. So I say get your last Bravo check, sis, and do your little interview and be done with. That's just my thought process. We did talk about how we thought that possibly Sharrieff had a little bit more knowledge of what Jen did, more so than we thought he did. So we did talk about that and discuss that. But yeah, she said no, she's not doing any interviews because she doesn't want anybody to paint her in a negative light. But I mean, sis, it is what it is. You did the crime. All right, so Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is trying to remove Black history from all schools in Florida, including the colleges and the universities. Um, they are, I do know specifically AP, African American history classes. He's trying to get those removed. Um, it's a mess. I've never seen. Well, I have the progressiveness, or the not the progressiveness. Let me back up. The new Republicans, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say new Republicans, because I don't know that the old Republicans ever tried to block. I guess maybe because people weren't trying to maybe infiltrate our history, because we got Black History Month that was celebrated. We got Martin Luther King Day off, but I know for a very, very long time there were very few um black people that we discussed, or there were history reports done on.
Right.
There was Martin Luther King. They might have allowed us to do Malcolm X. Uh, excuse me, Frederick Douglass. There are very few black people that we were able to do Black history reports on. And you had to do a lot of research to find different things in school when we were coming up. Now, because you probably have new teachers that are trying to introduce these things about these historical figures that were people in history, as well as what happened in history, the struggles they may have had to get things invented, how it was illegal for Black people to get patents, certain things that we went through and experienced just so we can have a piece of the American dream. And the fact that he, along with several other Republicans, because there are other states that are trying to do this as well, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, Wendy, give me your thought process on this.
Hold on 1 second. My son is he's FaceTiming me. No, that's too big. There should be a smaller one. I'm trying to find you. Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay, so I think this is
robotic.
Yes. Okay, can you hear me now?
It still sounds robotic.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to take this off. How is it now? Because my son called me.
It's better now.
Okay, because he called me because I told him I'd send him to the store to get some milk. I think it is crazy. I think that it is.
Hold on, now it's breaking up. Hold on.
I got this.
You on mute now.
How about now?
Okay, you good now.
Okay, I think it's a slap in our face to basically say that we didn't have any kind of history that mattered. If you think of everything that we as a race invented, we helped fight in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War,
all the wars.
Look at the Tuskegee Airmen that helped protect these folks from. I mean, come on. This is just plain stupid to me, because you want to make it seem like it's like this. You brought us over against our
asked to be here.
We did not ask to be here. You brought us over because y'all didn't want to do the labor.
Absolutely.
And y'all got free labor. Heck, the White House was built by us.
Sure was.
So to say that our history doesn't matter, if we take back everything that we've invented, the world will be in shambles. And I think that they know this. I think that they know that we are the chosen race. We are the only race that can make multiple races because we are the first race,
Right.
and they know this.
Yeah. So that's my big issue with it. If we're American people just like everybody else, and we're part of American history, and the things that happen to us, they're documented and it's history. You can't take it away, you can't change it, you can't screw it or strew it into your own narrative. You cannot switch it up and be like, oh, okay, well, this is the narrative I want to go with. You can't do that. It is what it is.
And it is this, they don't want to make it seem like they're the villains because okay, they come over to a land and took land from the indigenous
You also
people.
did that. Absolutely. Let's talk about that. Because the fact that, I'm glad that they have changed it to Indigenous People Day, because it's not Columbus Day, because Columbus discovered nothing, right?
You
But for many
can't
years,
discover
we
a
were
land that's
lied
already
to.
been here.
Right. That was taught to us, though, in our history book. So you taught us lies growing up. And so, but you don't want the truth. And that's what gets me. What's wrong with the truth? Nobody's going to try to make you feel guilty for what your great, 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 great granddad did back in the day. As long as you're not continuing with that same narrative. If you
Right.
don't believe as great grandpa Nathan believed, if you're not operating in that same headspace, then what's the problem? Nobody's going to make you feel guilty. Now, do I think that the education or how the information is put out there based on what grade that child is in should be censored? Yeah, but I think that they can do some educational friendly lessons based on the child's age, based on the grade that they're in, so they can understand it, because they're going to have to break it down to understand it on their level anyway. And so the fact that you guys are saying, well, we just don't want that history in our schools, but that's not the case. That's not what's going on, and that's not what's happening. Y'all don't want the history discussed. That's the problem. That's the real issue, and that's what we need to be talking about, how you want to eradicate Black history. So that's something that I definitely wish that people would just get real about and just be honest about, right? Um, so that's Ron DeSantis, Florida. Y'all voted him in as governor again. They are looking at this man to run our country. They want him to be a presidential candidate. I'm not for this at all.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna say that. Let's talk about this gentleman real quick. This is George Santos. George Santos is the Republican representative for the state of New York. And he is he has not graduated from any institution of higher learning. He has not worked for Citigroup or Goldman Sachs. These are things that he discussed and talked about while he was on the campaign trail. What's bothersome about this is that typically when you get a job of this caliber, when you are in the House of Representatives, when you are a senator, when you have that top level or high level governmental position in our country, they typically vet you. So you mean to tell me you guys allowed this man to get elected and he lied about everything, about his entire existence? He lied. He lied.
They let Trump be president, so I can't.
I really need them to do an investigation. I think he needs to lose his seat. It's my thought process. I'm not sure who would be his backup. I see who he beat though. He did beat an openly gay candidate in New York. The openly gay candidate was Robert Zimmerman. He did beat him. And he would have been the first for the state of New York that would have an openly gay congressman. This is crazy though. So now here we are. He said, I embellished my resume. I'm sorry.
Hey, please excuse the house
I
because
can't see the house. I just see your background.
I'm talking to my niece. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But did you hold on? Go ahead and talk. I'm sorry.
Okay. And he's 34 years old. He said that he did work as vice president for a company called Linkbridge. I don't understand who did business with both of the financial giants, but that does not mean that you worked for them. And so he was saying that his job or his resume was stated poorly. This is crazy. He claims to be the vice president because I don't believe that at this point. He said he helped make capital introductions between clients and investors, and Goldman Sachs and Citigroup were limited partnerships that his company dealt with. He also admitted that he never graduated from college, despite previously claiming that he had a degree from Baruch in 2010. One of his issues is he angered New York's Jewish populace when he claimed Jewish ancestry, and he is not Jewish. He claimed that both of his grandparents were Holocaust survivors. This is my issue with this. So Kanye made some inflammatory statements about the Jewish community. Kyrie Irving just shared a documentary on his page. This man lied. He used the Jewish community as a scapegoat so that he could win a seat in Congress, and y'all ain't ready to cancel him.
But let it be a black person.
That's what, I mean. I just use Kanye and Kyrie as examples.
They be ready to just put us through the cross, man.
He is Catholic. So he's trying to dress up his lies. He's Catholic. He's claiming that his grandparents were Jewish, and they told him the stories of the Jewish background, and they converted to Catholicism. I don't know many Jews that do that. I'm just saying.
Go ahead. What you say?
This is crazy. This man is in a web of lies. A web of lies. A web of lies. Y'all, I need y'all to do something about this man. Y'all need to oust him from office. This is not, had he been a different color, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. That man would have been out of office. He lied about his entire existence. You lied about being Jewish? That cannot be okay. I need somebody from the Jewish community to help me out. And why have they not canceled George Santos? I need somebody to kind of. He needs to be canceled.
Very much so.
He needs to be canceled. Yeah, that's crazy. He needs to be canceled. I'm convinced y'all need somebody else. You know, and I'm not saying all politicians are honest and just and all this other stuff, but
at least they had college education.
When the other politicians is saying you a liar, it's a problem. It's a whole problem. Okay. This is TMI. I caught a clip of Carisha Please, which is Young Miami's government name, Carisha. Of the one half of the City Girls. And as we know that she's in some type of open relationship with P. Diddy. Well, she had Trina on her show this past week and decided to disclose that she enjoys golden showers.
Ew.
Yes. So now everybody is calling P. Diddy P-E-E Diddy.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
It is hilarious. Here's my thing. I'm pretty open about my life. You know, there are certain things that I discuss. There are certain things that I don't discuss. But I really like to be as transparent as possible. I ain't that transparent. I'm not gonna go into deep details about my sex life. That was too much, and
that's really none of anybody's business.
Well, not necessarily that it ain't nobody's business. It's certain things that I just would not say. Now keep in mind her platform, the way her podcast is set up is kind of like a girlfriend or like you're having a conversation with your friend. So it's like a kiki. You know what I'm saying? But in that kiki, you decided to talk about PP, and I could not at that point in time. I have open conversations with my girls a lot. We talk about a lot of things. I feel like sometimes me and some of my friends we have TMI, and I'd be like, I don't think I wanted to know that. But you know, for them to feel open enough to talk about certain things they struggle with, or certain things that they're going through in a relationship, or sex wise, or whatever, and we swap stories. That's what you do. But girl, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I don't think that I would have announced that. It probably would have just been something I would have kept to myself. All right, here we go. All right, so I talked about this on TikTok this morning. DeAndre Sanders, who is the daughter of Deion Sanders. Deion was the Coach Prime at Jackson State University. We were very grateful for the things that he did. He brought a spotlight to Jackson State. We were cool, right?
Right.
Deion shook up the world, the sports world, when he announced that he was going to take the job at Colorado. There were a lot of things that I didn't like about how he left. And I'm gonna forever stand. I don't care you got to do this, and I don't care what you got to do. I think that took away from Jackson State SWAC championship game, because all of that was the talk all throughout that time. Even the announcement, you announced it the same night those boys won a SWAC championship, and was going back and forth between Colorado and Jackson. And I really feel like they would have won the Celebration Bowl. Their heads weren't in it. You know what I'm saying? They were all because at this point you've stolen the limelight from your team. That's how I feel. You can agree to disagree. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. We over it. We got a whole new coach. The person who probably should have been our head coach in the first place, because he played at Jackson State. He's been a coach at Jackson State for many years. Coach T.C. Taylor. We riding for him. But since Deion and his family has left, keep in mind the boys in Shaloma. I just figured out that that's how to pronounce their baby's name, not the way we've been pronouncing it. Shaloma. I'm sorry. Since then, we've heard a lot of negative comments coming our way. And what I will say to the negative comments are, all schools and universities have issues. The PWI's issues are different from the HBCU issues. And you do have certain things that take place. You got certain things that go on. My issue with this family, because he and his daughter decided, he went on a smear campaign as soon as, even the rumors started. That was like you saying little stuff about Jackson State, and it has continued and it has gone on. And you have an interview with Shannon Sharpe, you have an interview with this person and that person, and Shannon Sharpe. Let me just say this: whereas I don't agree with how Skip Bayless talks cash money to Shannon Sharpe. I don't agree with that. I think it's very degrading how he deals with Shannon Sharpe and how he has dealt with other Black players over the course of time. Oh, I forgot a story. Oh, geez, we're going to have to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to have to add a story to tomorrow's show, because I forgot Shannon Sharpe showed his behind at the Lakers versus Grizzly game. Dang it, I knew I was forgetting something. We talking about that tomorrow.
And they lost by one dang point.
I know we lost by 1 point. Your phone doing that thing again, or your earpiece is doing that thing again. Back to where I was going with this. Deandra decided, she did an interview with Baller Alert. Good. She's doing a thing. She's managing sports, people in sports, players. And she discussed that. And then they asked her about her dad leaving Jackson State. One of the reasons that she put out there was safety was the issue and a reason why they decided to leave Jackson. She talked about killings that were taking place every other month or every few months on Jackson State's campus. She talked about how the locker room, they was breaking into students' lockers in the locker room, which that wasn't the case. It was jokes and stuff and pranks being played on one another, but nobody was breaking into anybody's lockers in the locker room. So these things that she put out there, this narrative that she put out there, as in regards to that, they were false, because there was an incident where a student did get murdered on Jackson State campus this past year. I will say that. That was a one-off isolated situation, because on a regular and consistent basis, there's not crime like that on Jackson State's campus. Now, the city of Jackson is a totally different ball game. And I feel like, here's my thing, because if your dad is as calculated as you are portraying him to be, and I believe he is as calculated as you are you portraying him to be, he should have done the research on the crime rate in Jackson, Mississippi before he moved down to Jackson.
True.
My thought process. Okay. My next point, they did not live in Jackson. Deion Sanders' house was not in Jackson. His house was on the outskirts. So let me talk about this real quick. 60 Minutes. I was very happy to see Jackson State. I was very happy to see Coach Prime. The thing that I didn't like about that interview was the fact that he was taking a bath in the pool at a hotel nearby the stadium when he had water at his house, because just like Memphis, when we had our water situation, when do you stay in Bartlett? I stay in Memphis, right? In the Bartlett area. Okay.
Right.
Bartlett had water. Germantown had water. Arlington had water. They're not on the same water system. He had water at his house. So we have created narratives so that people in the United States of these Americas decided, oh, Jackson is a bad place. So you came to help, but then now you are not putting respect on our name. The water situation was not a campus issue. We utilize the water of the city of Jackson. Well, I don't. I live in Memphis, but as a Jacksonian, the students on the campus utilizes the water of the city of Jackson. So that was a city thing. And because the city of Jackson is the majority Black, think about Flint, Michigan. I want y'all to keep that in mind. the funding and the monies were not there. They are just now receiving funding to repair the water situation in Jackson.
Meanwhile, Brett Favre taking money from the welfare system.
And Brett Favre took money from, but you worried about the wrong things. Yes, should administrations be tightened up at some HBCUs? Absolutely. But sometimes we ain't got it. We doing the best we can. Because the whole point of Dion coming to show that we can compete, but we got to get some ducks in a row. And absolutely, there are ducks in a row at all HBCUs across the board. Every HBCU, we're not a monolith, but the truth of the matter is that we don't have the same funding as the white institutions. We don't have the same things to do. We can't get state-of-the-art stuff because we don't have the funding. They don't come in. A lot of these white institutions have great booster programs that donate constantly for sports and whatever. We don't have that. Do you get where I'm coming from? So if we had that and we had everybody pitching in, then this wouldn't be an issue. So I made a post on my TikTok. Deandra saw the backlash from her comments and she went on her social media page to apologize. I'm not 100% cool with her apology, but the fact that she realized that what came out of her mouth was incorrect, and that was an incorrect statement to make. So I will give her those props for that. But I need y'all to understand that no, that's not the case. Jackson, I lived in Jackson for 4 years. I go to Jackson all the time. Now they do have crime. They got crime in Memphis, they got crime in DC, they got crime in Atlanta. They got crime.
They have crime everywhere.
Everywhere, even in Colorado. They got crime. As a matter of fact, let's talk about how the white institutions, how they have mass shootings and mass murders at their institutions. You know, let's talk about that. You don't want to talk about that because in our minds, white is right and black is wrong. And that's the wrong narrative and the wrong conversations to have, right? So I applaud her for apologizing, but I also need y'all to let it go. Y'all are not in Jackson anymore. We over it. We ain't asking why. Whoever asks you why, just say, hey, I wanted a better opportunity. I'm going to be a black coach that had this multi-million-dollar contract over here at a Power 5 school. That's the answer. That's the PR answer that needs to be given, and stop crapping on Jackson State because we ain't did nothing to you, bro, but opened up our arms and accepted you wholeheartedly. We never let anything. I don't know nobody in Jackson that would let anything happen to either one of your kids. You gave it a try. Nothing. You know. So the narrative is wrong. The situation is ragged and it just doesn't make sense. It smells of filth. So I need y'all, please, if it's gonna be negative comments about Jackson State, I'm a Jacksonian to the day I die. If it's gonna be negative comments about Jackson State, bro, just don't have them. Leave us alone because we have moved on. We got a whole new coach. We still getting top recruits. We doing our thing. We good. We Gucci. We gully. We good. Leave us alone. That's my thought process. Stop. All right. Which leads me to this, because when we're talking about issues with HBCUs, Avery, who is a legend in football as well, was going to be the coach at Bethune-Cookman University. Something happened along the way. He had not signed a contract with Bethune-Cookman at all. He had started working with the players. He had moved and relocated to the area. He was ready to rock and roll. There were some things he was frustrated about. And I do know that there are a couple of issues that BCU is facing. If y'all do not know that BCU is in Florida, where they did have the hurricane situation that took place just this past year, they have not recovered from the hurricane, right? They haven't recovered from that. They also have had some administration issues. Here is my thing. If it's a problem, I get it. It's a problem. One, you ain't signed not one contract, period. You ain't signed on a dotted line nowhere. My suggestion to you would be keep your mouth closed. He was recording a video. What you recording a video for? I watched the video with one of the players, and the players want him there. There are people who want him at BCU. Definitely. But my thought behind it is why? Explain to me why would I hire you if you're speaking disparagingly about the university that's getting ready to hire you. Where they do that at? I don't know nobody who hires somebody and they talking noise about the job. Do you not have you met a person who you gotta fake it till you make it when you get in there, start making some things happen. And he probably has I don't know if he has the same amount of capital that Dion had, but he has the capital to kind of move some things forward and get the practice facilities and that sort of thing up to par for the football players. But what y'all gotta understand too is there's a big conversation here. As right now, Bethune-Cookman is in a lawsuit. They're suing one of the former presidents because that former president took $9 million. They had some interims that have done some messed up things with the money with the university, so they fumbled the bag. So it's a lot that's going on. And here's the other part of it. We need to stop looking at people for being our saviors. We gotta stop putting our trust in these NFL coaches or NFL football players. They got the money. Oh Lord, I gotta get my charger. They had the money to do some things. They have the capital to do some things, to move some things forward. But I think what's important is that we gotta do for our universities. We have to do for our colleges, because if we don't do, we're gonna have people come in that is going to constantly disparage what we got going on. We're going to have people to come to our universities and colleges that are not going to be for us. They're going to be against us 100% totally. And I'm not saying that Ed Reed was against us, but you can't be talking crazy about the university you getting ready to work for. You got to come in and you got to get to work and roll up your sleeves. And a lot of people that are saying negative things and making negative comments about HBCUs, not one is donated to a HBCU. Not one has decided that they're going to roll up their sleeves and get in there and do the work. And yeah, he started to do the work according to the football player. I watched this HBCU podcast just this morning, and he was talking about how some of the things they believed that he was going to come in and make some changes. He had already started making some changes, but you can't do that. You can't come. You got to come correct. It has to be better than where you left. You got to be better than that, or you got to come in with a better attitude than that. So a lot of people are like, nah, he's not the right candidate for the job. My other thing is with the NFL coaches coming in and coaching at the schools and the universities, I think it's a good idea because there are not a lot of black head football coaches in the NFL because this is a stepping stone, right? Some people stay at the schools, and there's not a whole lot of black head coaches at Power 5 schools. So would it be a good stepping stone? Absolutely. But you got to come in it with the mindset of helping or leaving that place better off than where you found it, and not coming in with a negative attitude. But if you are not going to come in to work and roll up your sleeves and do what you need to do, I feel like you shouldn't even try. Like, go do whatever else it is that you were going to do in your retired life. Leave HBCUs alone if you're not going to add to. That's just my thought process behind it. So I know you got that look on your face.
This is all just crazy to me. Some folks just need to be quiet.
All right, so this story was really, really sad. I had not been watching the news. I have gone on a news fast because the news is something that is extremely depressing for me to watch. I look at the weather on my phone. I just kind of Google what the weather gonna be, and I go with that, and that's how I decide what I'm gonna put on my body, that sort of thing. Um, but I saw this story, and I was very upset when I saw it. A young man by the name of Tyree Nichols, here in the city of Memphis, was pulled over for reckless driving. Um, I don't know when all 5 officers entered the scene, but from my understanding, he ran away from the scene. They caught up to him. He might have been fighting them, but 5 officers jumped on one man and beat him to. That man wasn't recognizable in the hospital pictures that I saw. He did not look like this picture right here or any of the pictures that they
Right.
shared on the news or online. Um, that didn't look like him, right?
Right.
Because of that, he died 3 days later after the incident. He passed. So his family wants justice, and rightfully so. The police officers, there were 5 of them, and I think they had been, between they were 7 years and uh below. Those officers, they weren't like 20, 30 year veterans. They hadn't been on the job more than 7 years. With 2 of them just starting, I think in 2020. Um, this is unfortunate. All the officers were Black officers, so this is not a white Black thing, but this is a conversation that we need to have about police training. What are you doing? Are you just passing these people through the academy? Are y'all actually teaching them how to de-escalate situations? The man ran, they caught him. It would it where what At what point could 5 officers not subdue one man? You know what I'm saying? Um
Right.
and that's
It's
what's
sad.
not making sense to me. Um all 5 officers have lost their positions with the police department. I do think charges are probably going to be brought against them as well. Um,
Mhm.
which is the opposite of what happens with a lot of the white officers. For the most part, you still have officers that now they are kind of cracking down a little bit, but the sentences are still not matching the murder that's committed, right? With some of these instances. Um, as a matter of fact, I saw something really disgusting on TikTok. Um, in Kentucky, there are people. The one of the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor is going around Kentucky playing the video of her getting shot. The police footage. And he's speaking and making money off of this girl's untimely death. And I don't think he should be able to do. I don't think anybody should be able to make money off of what y'all did was not correct and wasn't right.
Mhm.
It's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so now we have this situation, which I think is completely unfortunate. Um, and as details unravel, I don't know that they still haven't released the police cam footage. They don't plan to release it until this upcoming week. I'm not ready to see it. I don't think I am going to watch it. I
Mhm.
think I'm just gonna take everybody else's word for it because I don't like seeing situations like that. But there is a bigger call to police reform. I think that's what the most important thing is that we have to have some type of reform with our police department, because otherwise there are going to be more and more deaths that take place and happen, unfortunately. And
Mhm.
not just the racial training or the racial disparities when it comes to police brutality, but you know um, just police brutality in general, because they think that I'm the law. right? So being put in that position, your thought process is I'm the law, and so you about to be the law, and you think sometimes in those positions they feel like they're above it, they're above the law, and it's not cool, definitely not cool. Um, my heart goes out to the family. He was only 29 years old. I don't know if he had any kids or anything like that, but his family has been fighting. I mean, they've been protesting since Martin Luther King Day. They've hired Ben Crump as the attorney. Um, so that I again praying for the family, and then those cops made a decision that affects their families as well, that they can't take back. you know. Um, so I hope that uh the prosecutors and everybody involved make the right decision and that they get justice for this young man. I have seen some comments on social media. Well, he was breaking the law. Do we know he was breaking the law? Do we have? Are we gonna show the whole video? Is there gonna be dash cam involved? Like y'all gonna see him driving recklessly? Like let's talk about this and let's have a conversation as whole. Now, if I see that he was driving recklessly, that's one thing. But that's the thing that we gotta kind of keep in mind and take into consideration. Um, yeah, he probably was breaking the law, but a ticket or
But doesn't everybody have the right to due process?
everybody has a right to due process. That's where I was going with it. Everybody has a right to due process. Everybody has a right to even if he had ran away and resisted arrest and y'all arrested him for that, y'all could have just arrested him instead of beating the crap out of him. That wasn't warranted. So that's all I'm saying. That's my point. And I definitely hope they make the right decision with this. Our favorite subject, what's bugging us? I think I know what's bugging you. I believe, yeah. I believe I know what's bugging you. I'm gonna say this, and I hope I don't get in trouble. Working for someone else is bugging me. I'm appreciative for my job. Definitely appreciative for my job. I'm glad that I have a job that I'm able to work. But I really think that when you work for other people, they
They
don't
don't
care
care.
about your huh.
They don't care. What's this song?
They
All I want to say is that they
they
don't really
don't
care
care
about
about
us.
your well-being at all. And I'm gonna leave it there. But that's what's bugging me, that I got to do what I need to do so that I can be my own boss and I can answer to Faith and Faith's customers, whoever they may be. Because I'm at my wits end at this point with working for other people. I just am.
I
Um,
think I'm with you on that. You know where I work, and the past 6 months they lost a lot of people.
of course they did.
They've lost a lot of people, and then they wanted to come and try to give us a price a cost adjustment. You know how they do a cost of living raise and
Right,
increase and stuff.
right.
You're a little bit too late for that. And then the ones that really gets the benefits of this increase are the ones that just came in.
Yep.
But you're not even trying to see how can we keep the ones that's been here 10 plus years.
I don't think people are appreciative. I just really don't. You can work and work and work, and when you need to do something that is affecting your health, or when you're needing to do things that directly affect you, that's a problem for them, and they can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me,
Yeah.
I think that is selfish. It's a selfish position to be in. Yeah, if you have an agreement to work, that's fine. But if I'm telling you I can't, and the fact that you still trying to, it's unfortunate and it's unfair.
I
Um,
was watching something on TikTok, and it was this woman. She was talking about the death of her husband,
yeah,
and she was working for corporate in financial, a finance corporate. They was bragging her about missing work because her husband died. Okay. They wanted to know when she was coming back. Can you come back tomorrow? Can you come back? And she just lost her husband.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks after her husband died, after she has the funeral for her husband and everything, one of her white counterpart lost a grandmother, and they gave her 3 weeks off and told the people around, don't mess with her. She's grieving her grandmother's loss. Grandmother, husband.
I'm ready to. I'm so ready to be done with working for people. I'm not even. And I need God to. God is gonna be the only way that's gonna happen. I gotta completely trust and lean on Him, because when I say I'm over it, I'm over working for people. I really, really am.
I'm over it too. I'm over it too. And they got me doing jobs that at least 6-7 other people should do.
Your phone is, you sound robotic.
Hold on.
And you pause. I don't know if it's me or is it you.
Okay, is that better?
Say that one more time.
Is that better?
You sound real robotic.
Never mind.
But yeah, I'm a little over it. I'm frustrated with my situation right now. Wendy, do you have any deals or anything that you got coming up for the new year with Mary Kay? Okay. The first Shy Glass Hour of the year is gonna be February 15th, Bay Day. Featuring Jerome Chisholm. Of course, it's gonna be hosted by producer Chick and Jay Discreet. We're gonna have drinks. I can't think of the baby's name right now, but we're gonna have drinks. We're gonna have massage therapist, and we're gonna have DJ Sir on the ones and twos. So definitely make sure y'all are coming through to Smooth Living, 1263 Road. I'm trying to see if this is me. 1263 Winchester Road. Make sure y'all come through. It's 10 to get in. Doors open at 7 to be dropped at about 8:30. So make sure y'all come in, because we want to make sure y'all get your food, get your drinks, get it in. You get ready. Super excited to have Shy Glass Hour back. Wendy, do you have anything else? I got the slides with your stuff. Oh, but you got your extra. I gotta add that on. All right. So you guys can reach Wendy at Wendy Edinburgh Smith on Facebook, Instagram at VLux76. Also on Instagram, Wendy ESMK. Did I do that right? ESMK. And then amerik.com /WEDINGBOURGH. For myself, you guys can reach, that's Heather. Hold on. Y'all can reach me on Facebook, Vic's Kids Faith More, Instagram at Vic's Kids Faith, Twitter at Vic's Kids Faith, and TikTok at Vic's Kids Faith. Y'all can reach me over there. Also, make sure y'all go on social media and like the Shy Glass Hour as well. TikTok for Wendy is also VLux76, VEELUX 76. So make sure y'all hit us up. We're gonna be back here tomorrow night. I pray I don't pass out from doing my thing, but we will be back here at tomorrow night 7ish. We'll be back for episode of It's On, where we talk about all things TV. We are going to talk about The Circle. That's what we are talking about tomorrow. We are going to mention this situation between Shannon Sharpe and, because technically TV, because it's a basketball game that came on TV. But we're going to talk about this Shannon Sharpe thing with the Grizzlies as well. So make sure y'all tune in to It's On tomorrow. We'll holler at y'all later. Bye-bye.